everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with the YouTube number 131. Our next YouTube, I'm not going to say mini class, I'm just not, because they're not mini at all. YouTube 129 was an hour and 37 minutes long, and I know full-length features that are shorter than that. But YouTube 129 was on the do's and don'ts of the Sizzix Big Shot machine and the Big Shot Plus machine. So if you have a Big Shot, a Big Kick, a Sizzix Vintage machine, a Big Shot Plus machine, or you were ever thinking about getting one, go back to YouTube 129. It is a refresh of my original do's and don'ts of the Sizzix Big Shot machine with all the updated information about all the new platforms and what does what and why you need this and if you really need that and how to use it. So we did YouTube 129, and then almost the very next day I did YouTube number 130. So I held off doing Winner Chicken Dinner until this YouTube 131. So I have winners to announce. Yes, this is the YouTube where I release the next collection of Simply Refined dies and stamps. Now I have two different lines of dies and stamps. I have Simply Refined and Simply Defined. I'm not so sure about rhyming them the way I did. I thought it was cute and clever, and now I'm tongue twisted half the time. Now, Simply Refined is an every other month release, so it's hard to believe it's already been, gosh, it's already been that much time since I released the first collection. So the second collection releases today, and it is Christmas. It is holiday. The next collection of Simply Refined will not be until November, and then January, and so on and so forth. Please remember that these are very limited, the dies and stamps. They're mine. They're my designs. They're my collection, but sadly I cannot afford to warehouse them and inventory them all year round. So if you see them and if you love them, do not hesitate to purchase them, because when they are gone, they are gone. Next week is my monthly release of Simply Defined, and it is also Christmas related but completely different than what I have for you today. Now I have Winner to talk about, and I have a brief story, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. Let's talk about Winner Chicken Dinner. Holy smokes! I gave away a Big Shot machine and a Big Shot Plus machine in YouTube number 129, and all you had to do was post a comment on that YouTube that said, wouldn't it be great if I won the, and fill in the blank with either the Big Shot or the Big Shot Plus. Are you ready to hear if you've won? Ready? I can feel the tension. I can feel everybody like, is it me? Is it finally my turn? Well, the random picker has picked, and if you are Kim Hughes, Kim, you've just won yourself a brand new Sizzix Big Shot machine, the white and gray one, brand spanking new, the new model. Woohoo, ka-choo for you. And if you are Linda Rausch, R-A-U-C-H, Linda, you've won a Big Shot Plus machine. I think I can almost hear both of you going, ah! Or rewind it. Did she really say my name? Rewind it. I need to back it up. Did she really say my name? Well, if you're Kim Hughes or Linda Rausch, yes, I did say your name. Congratulations. Kim, you've won the Big Shot machine. Linda, you've won the Big Shot Plus machine. But we're not done, because there's YouTube 130, where I showed off the A4 embossing folders with the Big Shot Plus machine and that beautiful set of double scoop gelatos. The double scoops are being discontinued. We still have sets. They're at a phenomenal price, but when they're gone, we're out of them and then discontinued. The gelatos will be discontinued. The double scoop gelatos will be discontinued. So if you love your gelatos, or if you haven't seen YouTube 130, go back, because if you like to color and if you like to blend colors, it's not so much like coloring with a pencil. This is so different. This is blending, and it's beautiful. So the winner of that YouTube is Lee Jane, Jayne. Congratulations, Lee. You're the winner of a set of gelatos that has a retail value of $90 and some Color Me Topper cards by Hot Off the Press. Woohoo for you too. Now, how is Lee and Linda and Kim? How are you all going to claim your prizes? It is super easy. You just email us at winner, W-I-N-N-E-R, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Winner at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Tell us what YouTube you've won from either 129 if you've won a Big Shot, or 130 if you won the gelatos. and give us your name, address, and telephone number, and we will get your prizes out to you just as quickly as possible. But if you want to be a winner, it hasn't been your turn yet. You're still waiting. Don't give up. Watch this video in its entirety and then post your comment on this video. To be able to do that, you do have to have a YouTube login, which is free, and you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is free. So a couple keystrokes and you can have a chance of winning some of the great product that I'm going to show you today. Oh, I have an itch. I couldn't wait to scratch, sorry. The product today is Simply Refined. And like I said, I have a story to tell because that's what I do. And normally my stories are about my dad, and this time it's about my mom. And I have to tell you, I was here yesterday. Today is Friday. You're actually going to be watching this YouTube on Saturday, hopefully. I tried to YouTube this yesterday 3 times, and I just could not get through it. So I'm hoping that I do better today because I started to well up and the tears started to come down. So I'm going to try and hold myself together and tell you my story about my mom. So for those of you who have never tuned in before or haven't gone back and heard the backstory of some of my life, which could be a lifetime movie, honestly, if you heard the whole story from start to now up to 47 years, I am a lifetime movie. Call me Lifetime, I'm right up your alley. But at this point, my mom and my dad, my husband and I are their full-time caregivers. And I have 2 boys, they're aged 13 and 14, but my mom and dad divorced several years ago. And yes, right now they're living together because I have no other option. And we are their full-time caregivers. My mom has something called psychotic depression and dementia, and my dad has Alzheimer's. So you can imagine we must find the humor in everything. Otherwise we just lay down and cry sometimes. And for those of you who have ever been a caregiver or are a caregiver, know that it is the most rewarding, difficult job you could ever do. I thought being a parent was a rewarding, difficult job, but being a parent to your parent, boy, that takes on a whole new meaning. So with my mom being with her psychotic depression and the dementia, and my dad with his Alzheimer's, Christmas really isn't quite the same anymore. And for my mom, Christmas used to be a huge holiday. And when I sat down to do the designs for holiday, when I design, I don't know how everybody else does it, but I have to feel something. I have to find some emotion inside of me before I can decide what it is I want to do. It has to come from some place. I just don't want to have designs based on nothing. There has to be an emotional attachment to these designs for me. And I guess if I was an actor, that would be called method acting, because I sit down and I think, okay, I want to do holiday. What do I feel about Christmas? What comes to mind? And when I sat down to do these, what came to mind was my mom and how much she absolutely loved Christmas and the Christmas tree. And I'm 47 years old, so when I was growing up, we had a living room which had the really nice furniture that you weren't supposed to sit on or touch unless company was there, and then the family room where we all watched TV. And the Christmas tree was always in the living room, and at my house on 4 Oak Street in Canyon Country, there was a big glass pane window in the front, and the Christmas tree would sit in front of that glass pane window. So when you drove by, you could see the old-fashioned C9 blinking lights. I don't even think they make those lights anymore, the old-fashioned bulbs, and they would blink. Well, my mom would decorate the tree, and we would help, but she had a place for every ornament. And every ornament had some sort of a meaning behind it, whether it was from my kindergarten class or my brothers and sisters had made it, or, I mean, every ornament meant something. Even if it was old and tattered and ratty, it still went on that tree, and she always found the most perfect place to put it. And then when she was done putting all the ornaments on, and of course we helped, then it came time for the tinsel. And my mom would painstakingly pull this. If those of you who don't know what tinsel is, it's these very fine strands of metallic foil that you would drape paint one by one over the branch of the Christmas tree until you had maybe 20 of them in line and row on that branch, and it would look like icicles coming down. And you did every branch on the tree. And my mom would pull that tinsel out of that little cardboard box, and I don't know how she kept it from getting tangled, because mine always got tangled, and she would meticulously and painstakingly put every strand on. Now, if you wanted to help and you threw the tinsel on, she made you pull it off, but and start all over again. And she would spend hours putting that tinsel on until the tree was just perfect. And I remember sitting in my living room when I was a kid on the green shag carpet and all the lights were off in the living room except for the Christmas tree. And those lights, see, and I'm gonna do it. Those lights would blink and shimmer off the tinsel my mom put on the tree. And it was beautiful. I don't think I've seen anything so beautiful. And that memory is when I think of Christmas, that's what comes to me, is that beautiful tree that my mom took so much care in doing. And so when I sat down to do dies for holiday, I had to feel it. So I wanted beautiful. And I wanted this to honor my mom, who doesn't really remember Christmas anymore and doesn't decorate the tree anymore, but we do it, and she'll come out and look at it, and in that moment, I know she remembers. I know when she sees it, she remembers doing the Christmas tree. So the collection is called I Believe, because I believe that my mom still remembers. And I hope you find it as beautiful as I do. It came from my heart. And if you don't like it, like I said before, lie to me. I'll never know the difference. But I'm going to tilt down and we're going to get started for today. And hopefully you enjoy I Believe as much as I do. Okay, down we go. Oh my goodness gracious. I need to learn not to not be so sappy. I need to buck up. All right. So here is one of the samples that was made by one of the SMS girls. Claire made this sample, and it is using just some of the I Believe collection. It's a beautiful card. I love what she's done, and she's mixed and matched elements, which is really what this collection is about. Now, I've laid all 4 sets, and there are 4 different sets in this collection, and yes, each set does come with 2 stamps, and I will show you the packaging, but each stamp not only comes with the die set, but it comes with 2 stamps. And the reason I've laid them out is because it's a little bit different than our first collection. Our first collection of Simply Refined had 3 dies per set and still the 4 sets. This collection actually has 4 dies per set, and I want to show you why. I've got my first collection here, which is Christmas Wishes, and it comes with a frame. It comes with the main decor die. It comes with another little frame, and it comes with a small decorator piece. So all 4 come in one package. But what you can do with the 4 is amazing. And on top of that, they are meant to mix and match with the other collections. So, like the other collections that always had the innards, these here, the inside dies could mix and match. This time, we've done the outside dies that can mix and match. So I've taken the frame off of Christmas Wishes, and I'm gonna put it over here, and I'm going to lift this frame. So I could have this combination, and I could move this one over here and make that combination. Or I could lift this frame and move this frame here and put this beautiful frame onto that main die. Or I could take this one and move that over here on this die. So if you have at least 2 sets, not only can you take the outer frames to mix and match, you can take the 2 centers and mix and match those as well to any of the other dies. So if you have at least 2, you've got an amazing start. You have got so many different combinations that you can make. But if you have all four, you really have almost, I mean, it's incredible, truly. The number of combinations that you can make and the number of cuts that you can do is incredible. Now, these are value priced because we really try to keep crafting affordable here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with my own brand of products. And they retail for $19.99 per set if you're buying just one set or if you're buying two sets. But if you're buying the bundle, the I Want It All in all four sets, you're gonna get each set and the stamps that coordinate with it for only $15. So $60 for all of it. And that to me is a phenomenal deal because my gosh, you can be making Christmas cards forever. But what I try to do is also keep the backgrounds not so Christmassy. So there's things you can do with the frames that don't say Christmas. There's other things to be done with them in different parts of the year. So I'm gonna move some of these out of the way. Well, you know, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the storyboards, and then I'm going to cut. So the first storyboard I'm going to show you is the I Believe Christmas. It's a big storyboard. So all of these were cut using one set. That doesn't mean this is all you can do. That just means this is what we did out of one set. And that set is this one here. This is the Christmas wishes. You can see some of the pictures down there. We try to give you an idea of what you can do. So amazing. Everything from just a simple oval to, I mean, just all the different things. It's incredible. Again, one die did this. One set of dies did this. Then we're going to move to Season's Greetings. And again, one die did all of this. Unbelievable. But now if you have different dies, you can mix and match. Now remember the colors because we're going to do a storyboard that has the different colors so you know what set it came from. So this one is this set here. And those are some of the things you can do with it. And then our next one is Joy to the World. And again, all the different cuts that you can make using just one set. And there's more than this, but Elena could only put so much on the board. She really did do a lot. See how beautiful that is? Oh my gosh, the frames themselves are magnificent. You could stamp in the middle of that frame and color it on. There's just so much to be done. So this is Joy to the World. And you can see the stamps. I'm going to put that one over there. And here is Joy to the World. And there's some of the ideas that you can do with it. And then we have got Peace on Earth, where again, one set did all of this and more. And yes, I'm going to cut some and I'm going to show you because you really need to see what can be done. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And here is Peace on Earth with some of the samples, some of the designs of what you can do. Now, what's really important is that you know that you can mix and match. So Elena took the different dies by their color. The red board is now mixed with the blue board, and the red board is now mixed with the green board, and it's also mixed with the yellow board. And I mean, these are all magnificent combinations of things you can do. You don't have to keep the dies in their own set. You can absolutely mix and match them to make the combination that makes you happy. And these are just the sets put together. She kind of granimaled it by color coding it so you could see the stamps mix within the set. The little frame dies mix within the set. It is just amazing. So I'm gonna cut now. I'm gonna take some paper and I wanna show you a few things that are a little different about these. And I think I'm going to use that one, and I'm gonna use this one, and I'm gonna use this one, and I think I'll use that one. All right, so I'm gonna move these kind of out of my way so I can talk to you about cutting. All right, so I've got my main die here, and it's a wafer die, so you've got the cutting edge. You can feel that ridge, and that ridge is that cutting edge, and once you apply pressure to that ridge, it pushes into the paper and makes the cuts. It's called a wafer die or a chemically etched die, and your Big Shot will cut these, your Big Kick will cut these, your Vintage machine will cut these, your Vagabond will cut these, your Big Shot Plus will cut these, a Cuttlebug will cut these, Grand Caliber will cut these, and a Bosser will cut these. It's a standard chemically etched wafer die. So almost any machine you have will cut it, and they're not too wide for any of the machines that I mentioned. But this die does not have a cutting edge around the outside of it, and I want to show you what happens when you do that. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine, and for right now I am going to use my magnetic platform. Now this is the Sizzix magnetic platform. I am going to use it with my precision base plate. Sizzix does not necessarily recommend that you use your magnetic platform with your precision base plate. They say there is an opportunity for the magnets to crack inside your magnetic platform. I am choosing to use it. I have never had that happen. I don't know that it won't happen, but I'm going to go ahead and say I'm taking the chance. It's up to you. If you do not have a magnetic platform, or you don't want to use your magnetic platform with your precision base plate, I totally understand. You're just going to use your multi-purpose platform, even your long one, your long multi-purpose platform, and put your precision base plate right on top of that, and the sandwich would be the same after that. But I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Now it's important that precision base plate I shouldn't be able to see how to use it. If I can see how to use it, if I can read this and I'm cutting, I'm doing it wrong. I need those directions face down. Now I'm gonna put my paper down. I'm gonna put my die down so that it's cutting into that precision base plate, and I'm just gonna grab an old cut plate and put that right on top, and I'm gonna send it on through. Now you may hear some creaks or some cracks, and that's okay, I promise. Now because we've used the precision base plate, it really only takes one go round to cut everything, and you can see the cuts there. But if you're nervous, or if you're worried, or you want to be sure it cut everything, I get it. There was how my die came out. Just take it and do a quarter turn, 90-degree rotation, and send it back through. I understand you want to be sure you cut it, but that's what the precision base plate is for. It is for your intricate dies, not your basic framelits, not your basic dies, your intricate dies. Now you would think that this piece is going to come off, wouldn't you? But it's not, because there's no cutting edge around the outside of this die. So I'm going to take my little handy Sizzix tool, and it comes with this little foamy piece, and I'm going to push some of these out. And the nice thing about the little foamy piece is that whatever pieces do get pushed out stay on the mat. And then I can just toss it away. Toss, toss, toss. That's from Wicked. Toss, toss, that's Glinda. Glinda, the G. The G is silent. That's how she became Glinda. So anyway, I'm gonna pull whatever pieces didn't come out. You can see that it cut beautifully. Easy peasy. And you may say, Stacy, why would I want to do that? Well, why wouldn't you want to do that? Let's say you have a card, an A2 card. And here's my A2, my faux A2 card. And I want to cut this out of the front of my card and then back it with a piece of paper, as opposed to layering it on top of my card. Let's say I wanted my card to be like this. Well, how beautiful is that? Of course, it's upside down. There we go. How beautiful is that? But let's say you do want that oval to cut out. I get it. I understand. I'm going to move this right over to the side. I'm going to take one of the frames that comes with one of the sets. Doesn't matter what frame you use. Pick your poison, whichever one makes you happy. If you just want the basic oval, then just use the basic oval. If you've got all 4 sets, you have options like you would never believe. If you have 2 sets, that's a really good start. It's really nice to have at least 2 sets, and if you can only afford 1, well, you're still going to have a tremendous amount of variety in there. So I'm gonna take my precision base place off because I'm using an open die. This is an open die. It's a framelit. When you have an open die like this is not intricate. This is intricate. This is not. You do not want to use your precision base plate with dies that are open, that don't have stability to keep that die from warping. If I put this through, this is going to end up warping if I use it with my precision base plate. So I'm going to take my precision base plate right off, leave my magnetic platform where it is, grab my cut plate, put my paper down, and then line up my die where I want it. And the beauty of that magnetic platform is that nothing moves. It's holding the paper in place. No more washi tape, no more painter's tape. A magnetic platform takes care of all of that for you. Put my do not cut plate right on top. That keeps a nice smooth surface running through. And away I go. And one cut, one pass is all you're going to need. There you go. Still have it upside down. Absolutely easy peasy and beautiful. And you're not done. You now have the option of cutting this out of the center. Or you can stamp in the center. Or do you want it to be a window? Do you want it to be a window where that is open? Then you're going to take one of the frames, and each of the 4 little frames are all different. There's no 2 dies that duplicate in this set. So even though all 4 of them look rectangular in this set, if you look at the cutting edge, you'll see that they're all different. So let's say I want to cut the little ornament out. Again, it's not an intricate die, so I'm just going to work with either my magnetic platform or my multi-purpose platform with no precision base plate. I'm just going to lay it down. I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to send it on through. Once should be more than enough. Oh, left it right on the thing, on my plate. I'm gonna put that there, move that there, and see if I can get some of those little pieces out with my little tool here. Although the die just wants to come right out all on its own. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I have cut the beautiful little Christmas ornament in the center of my die. But wait! It's upside down. If you notice, the ornaments hang this way. Oops. And I cut my, I put my Christmas ornament, my center die in upside down. Okay, we're gonna fix that. You know why? Because we can. I'm gonna grab one of the little frames. I'm gonna grab my little frame right here. I'm gonna bring my machine back. See, there's only happy accidents here. I'm gonna put down my die and I'm gonna take my little frame and I'm going to put it right on the top. I'm gonna line it up where I want it. And then I'm gonna send it on through. And again, it's a one cut, no big deal. You're gonna slide it through once and you're gonna be done. Oops. It's really early this morning. Haven't had enough coffee yet. Oh, see, perfect. Okay, so I cut it out. Now all I have to do is turn this the right way and put it back in and pop it up. Poof, mistake fixed. See, and now I can pop it up and add dimension. It was meant to be that way the whole time. There are so many things you can do. You can just use these little guys. I've got cards that the girls made just using these little guys. You can cut these cute little guys out of vinyl and then put them on votives. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to be done. And do I have one over here? Do I have a... And if I had wanted to, I could have left it and stamped. That's what the stamps are for. You've got sentiments that fit right in the center. I could have cut the center out here and left it a solid piece and stamped right on the top of it and then popped it up. There's just so many options. Okay, now I want to show you one with a different frame. And I think I'm gonna cut the frame first. Normally we cut the frame, I cut the die, this die first so then I can center it because this one needs the precision base plate. But I want to cut a solid frame. So I'm gonna just cut a solid frame. And this is not an intricate die. It's not that intricate, so you're just going to use it on your magnetic platform or your multi-purpose platform without your precision base plate. I'm gonna pull my machine over. I've got my magnetic platform, my cut plate, my paper, my die, and my do not cut plate. And I'm gonna send it on through. Oh, not too, oh, a few creaks and cracks, not too many. Now, if you're worried about it cutting all the way, you can always pick it up and you can see everything's cut out. And if it hadn't, you just lay it right back down. I rotated it a quarter turn and then I could send it on through. Now, this one cut all the way. I'm just doing this so you know you can do it. And there we go. Okay. Now immediately the back comes off. So I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to bring my little tool over and I'm going to smush those in there. And I'm going to smush these into that little foam pad. And then I'm going to smush these into my little foam pad. And last but not least, these. And then pull my die. So all my little pieces are here. I'm going to throw them away. And I'm left with a beautiful frame. Absolutely gorgeous. Now you could stamp on this. You could put the decoupage from Hunky Dory or Anita's on this. In fact, I have a stamped image. Here, this is a sample Yvette did. Using the frame, she put bling at all the intersections and she just stamped right in the center of that. You can mat your pictures for your layouts. You've got instant mats Oh my gosh. And this is obviously not Christmas, but it's so pretty. Think of all the stamps you have. Think of all the decoupage you might have to use. And if you really want to, you can take one of the other dies. This is one of the other sets, and it's got the holly on it, and you can layer that on top to give you this kind of a look. And of course the colored paper is up to you. And then if I wanted to, I could cut the center out. Ooh, I have a black one with cut center. Oh, but it's got a back to it. Yeah, they both have backs to it. You could cut my center out and that white would come through. Or you could cut a decoration out, or I could layer the white on top of this. Oh my gosh, are you getting the concept? I hope so. I know it can be a lot to wrap your head around because there's so many different combinations, but because there's so many different combinations, it makes it worth spending the money on. You're not just getting the same cut every single time. And I haven't even stamped anything yet. I could take the center of one. Oh, I don't know. I could take the center and I've got my stamps over here. And I could stamp in the center if I had a solid piece. Let's just cut a really quick, let's cut a really fast solid piece. So I wanna hold this because I wanna use that. I wanna show that to you with just the solid piece. So I'm gonna pull my machine back over and I wanna cut a solid piece for you. Magnetic platform, cut plate, paper, and just one of my little dies. Let's use the really scallopy one. This one's super cute. Let's use that one. I'm just gonna cut out a rectangle with my little scallops. You can use these little frame dies for anything because they're nondescript. They're non-thematic. There, I just cut out a little rectangle. Pull my machine over. Grab my block. I've got Joy to the World on here. Grab my stamp mat. Actually, I think I'm going to do Sending Christmas Wishes because that way it's facing the right direction. Oh, I didn't take my little clear is still on here. So no, I guess I'm doing Joy to the World because I got to get the little clear acetate off the top of those. And let's use Memento ink, dye-based ink. If you want to emboss it, you would use a pigment-based ink. You can use your Tim Holtz inks. Give a push, pull up. Oh no, it'll work fine. I wasn't using the... Now I've got that. Your card's done. I could pop this. There's so much that you can do, but we're not quite done yet. Almost. I want to show you one other thing that's new about these dies. There are some that have an embossing feature to them. So I'm going to pull these out of the way, and I think I'm going to grab the holly. This die has holly in it, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to bring my machine back over. This time I'm going to use my precision base plate because I'm cutting an intricate die, and I'm going to grab a piece of paper from Coordinations. This is Coordinations paper, and it's sandable paper, and so when you tear it, it tears to a lighter color. It's not a color core or a solid core paper or a white core paper, it's a color core paper. If I was, like with my black, if I tore my black is a solid core paper. It's black all the way through, no change. The Coordinations is different. They have a whole bunch of different packages, and yes, we sell them. And when you sand it, it sands to a slightly different color. So I'm going to use my green. I'm going to put my paper down. I'm going to put my die. I'm going to use my cut plate, because the pressure that it puts on it just makes an indent into your plate, so you might as well use a cut plate and just use the old icky ones. Move those out of the way. and send it through. Now again, if I'm concerned that it hasn't cut everything, all I have to do is a 1/4 turn rotate and send it back through. And that way your rollers, the sweet spots on your rollers in your machine have an opportunity to hit everywhere. All right, pull it aside. And now I'm going to take my platform off, my precision platform off. I'm going to put my clear plate, my cut plate down again. I'm just going to grab one of the frame dies. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. No, I'm going to leave him in. You know what? I'm going to emboss him first. So to do the embossing, I need my multi-purpose platform. So I've cut him on my magnetic platform, but I'm going to change to my multi-purpose platform because I want to emboss him. There's embossing features in this die. Have you ever noticed when your dies have little spaces, but there's no cut edge around them? What that's for? That's to force an embossing feature. Now to do this, if I was cutting this again, I would be doing it on either my multi-purpose platform with my precision base plate or my magnetic platform. If you're willing to go ahead and risk it, then I need to emboss it. So I need to flip the die upside down. And I need to take my multi-purpose platform and open to tab 1. I need this die to be the die side down. I don't want to see the die because I'm going to be using my squishy and my knock-knock. And if you watched 129, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a squishy, hence the squishy. This is a knock-knock. It's your silicone pad for your Big Shot, Big Kick, Vintage, Vagabond, Big Shot Plus machine, and your impression pad for the same machine. These two are black, so it's very hard for me to tell you, to explain the difference except for to name them squishy and knock-knock. This is a textured impression and silicone. They are like Ben & Jerry's. They are 2 peas in a pod. They go together. They're not to be separated. You always use them together. After you have cut your die, you're going to get your multi-purpose platform out and open it to tab 1. You're going to lay your die upside down so you can't see the actual die. You're going to put your squishy on top and you're going to put your knock-knock on top. No other clear plate. So the sandwich is your multi-purpose platform open to tab 1, your clear plate, your die with the paper face down so you can't see your die, your squishy pad and your knock-knock pad, and then you're going to send it on through. Now, if you do this correctly, what happens is that squishy pad starts to grow and come out the back side. And the reason it's growing is because the rollers inside your machine are pushing that squishy pad into the voids of that die, forcing it to make an embossing. See how it's growing? It's all the way out here now. Before, when I started, you couldn't even see it. It was tucked underneath the knock-knock pad. So I'm going to put this over. And I've now done an embossing. But I still want to cut it out. So to cut out, well, it actually cut some of it out by itself. Let's see if I can, nope, I still have to cut it out. Cut it out. I'm going to pull the top die off. Pull my top die. No, it's perfect. And then I'm going to cut out the frame around it. Let's close this up. I'm just going to do it right on my multi-purpose platform. I'm not going to grab my magnetic platform. You don't have to. You can cut it right with your multi-purpose if you're okay with that. You just got to line it up. Make sure it doesn't slide. Grab your clear plate and send it on through. There we go. Put that in the trash and move this over and pop that top die off. Okay, now I need to take out my little bits and pieces here so you can see all the intricacy of the cut. But after I do that, so you can see it's starting to come out. After I do that, I'm going to take my sandpaper and I'm going to lightly sand. And where that embossing has happened, those little dots are going to rise up, and the little definition on the holly leaves is going to rise up. And you're going to see them. So I'm using my sanding gadget. Okay, can you see the definition of the holly coming up? That's where that embossing feature comes into play. It adds that extra element, that extra level of what looks like texture, but it's not. And it's all done by using your squishy and your knock-knock and forcing that embossing with the dies. It makes them so beautiful. Oh, I have this one done here. It makes them so beautiful. And now I can stamp in the center, or I could die cut out the center, or I could add a detail in the center. It's entirely what you want to do. So much to be done with these dies. But remember, if you're going to ever emboss any of your dies, you have to have the squishy and the knock-knock. I know that's not their real names. It's the silicone pad and the textured impression pad. The Sizzix SKUs are 655-120 and 655-121. 655-120 and 655-121. I'm doing that from memory. So if you do not have those two pieces and you want to be able to do this with your dies, they're only $7. You can't go wrong. Go ahead and order them and get them. They never go bad. You can use them again and again and again. So we have cut dies, we have stamped with the dies, we have interchanged the dies, all from the, I believe, Simply Refined Christmas collection. It's absolutely gorgeous. I want to show you the samples that the girls made because they did make a lot. So please bear with me and hang with me because I think you'll enjoy it. All the SMS girls have so many different styles that something is here for everybody. Claire made the Christmas ornament, and again, she just used the stocking element. This is just one of these the little dies in the center. And she made the Christmas ornament. What paper did she use on that? She used the new Reflections, my new self-adhesive foil paper. So you can die cut it. It comes in a host of colors. There's 4 different packs. There's packs that have glitter tones to them. So there's holiday packs and everyday packs. They're $9.99 on an everyday price. You get 10 sheets no matter what pack you love. This is the holiday, just the holiday regular Reflections. And she used the everyday. This is the everyday. So you can see from the colors. That color right there is that color right there. She used the everyday pack. And again, they're all self-adhesive. So the foil is die cuttable and self-adhesive. So that's Claire. This is also Claire. And then again, using the Reflections. That's the Reflections Diamond. again, with just the elements from the center. This is the center of one of those, of one of my dies. She did a little flip book just using the centers. Is that awesome? How cute is that? That's not even using the main portion of the die. And then Claire also made a layout. Again, she used the centers as their own elements. She used the big one up here. And that is actually Claire, and if you can believe it, she says she's in her 30s there, and I don't believe her. And this is supposed to be a big Christmas ornament behind it. That's what I'm supposed to tell you. She said, make sure they understand that's a big Christmas ornament behind it. But she used my reflections paper and the Simply Refined dies, and she used these as elements and embellishments. Okay, that's Claire. Next is Michelle. Again, Michelle did the same thing. She used the cute little elements parts to make her Christmas card. So cute, from 3 different of the sets. Just darling. And then she didn't do Christmas at all. She made a wedding card. Now, how did she do that? She just cut off the little ornaments. There were a few little ornaments inside that die. She just cut them off. And she used the reflections paper to do that. And then here, I showed this one on Facebook. Her beautiful white card with the ornament done in the reflections paper. Absolutely gorgeous. Those are Michelle. Then we go to Doris. Now Doris took it a step further. Not only did she cut off the little ornaments, let's see, do I have just a plan? Not only did she cut off the little ornaments of this die, these 2 dies are the same die. This die is what she used here. She didn't do this. She cut off the border and she cut off the ornaments to make that. And the reflections paper is the background. And she stamped and embossed. So this is Doris, and then this is Doris. And she's layered and popped and just had a fabulous time. A little bit of stickles. And you've got the most beautiful card. There you go, that's Doris. And then she just hit it out of the box with this one. This is her mini album, and here's Simply Reflections dies, and she's got them throughout the entire, she's got pages that open and pop, and I mean, she's just got the, look at just the frame. You can put your picture right on it, and she's got the little element right there from one of them, and they're everywhere, and all these little pieces pop out and pull out, and you can add your own. And I don't know who she's giving this to, but it's magnificent. All those frames to just mat your pictures on. Oh, this one opens. Of course it does, Doris. But you can see all the love and the work she's put into it. Even use the negative, where you can just mat a picture right in the negative space that most people throw away. She did this one opens up. She did a beautiful job. So when you're in the store, please take a look at it. Please be gentle with it, but it's magnificent. It's absolutely beautiful, and this was done by Doris. Then we have Yvette real quick, and Yvette has 2 cards for us. She has the piece card done with the reflections as your background, just to add a little bit of shimmer and shine without glitter. And she did the card I showed you earlier with the stamp in the center of the frame, where you don't even have to use anything more than that and stamp in the center and color, and you've made yourself a beautiful frame for all of your decoupage or your stamps or your pictures for your layouts. That is Yvette. Then we go to Sharon. They named them for me this time. And here Sharon has used glitter paper and some untraditional holiday colors that just are lovely. So we've got these 2 in the glitter. Using different elements from different sets to make that. Her Santa, which I showed on Facebook as a sneak peek. I think that's a piece of Kaiser craft paper. She just cut the Santa out of the paper. And her white on white. And yes, I do have a stamp that says from our home to yours. It is included with one of the sets. Beautiful. Then we go to Elena. And Elena made coasters. So she's got them on cork. She's used Reflections, the paper, and the Simply Defined dies. And she made holiday coasters to be given as a gift. Really cute. Who wouldn't love to get those? Put a bow around it and call it done. She made Christmas ornaments using the frames and then decoupage. Remember, I was telling you decoupage, and then she used the tag and stamped it. So using decoupage just on the frames. All she used is the frames from Simply Refined and filled it with beautiful decoupage. And then this one, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. This is also another ornament where she used the Jewel Tones Reflections paper, the glittery tones, probably the holiday pack, and my dies, and then on the other side. Now, who wouldn't love this hanging off of a vintage Christmas tree? Oh my gosh. So she's got the frame, the die, and then the center, and then she filled it in with some Santoro product. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Last but not least, we have Belinda. Oh, how can I get you guys to see this? There is Belinda's tray. It was on Facebook. It is gorgeous. These are decoupaged letters. This is a Dollar Tree silver tray. This is a candlestick that she painted red and then E6000 to the tray, and then my die as the O of the joy. It's beautiful. When you're in the store, you're gonna love it. It's so much better in person. So that's Belinda, and then I've got Belinda down here. Belinda thinks so outside the box. Really, she does. Here's her Christmas ornament. Again, just layering all of the Simply Refined dies to make that vintagey look. And then she's got a decoupage ornament, and she took a Doris plastic snowflake that you can get at Michael's, put the frame on top of the snowflake, and then put the decoupage on top of that. Who would not love to get this as an ornament? This is such an easy thing to do. These are inexpensive. They're very inexpensive. They come in a pack 5 for, I think, $1.99. And look at how easy that is. And the decoupage, you just pop and layer on top of each other. It's the Anita's or the Hunky Dory decoupage, and you just pop them out. No cutting, no fuss, no muss, no glue, nothing. Easy peasy. Then she did another banner, and this one is Joy. So we have the J using the frames from Simply Refined, and the O, and the Y. And honestly, it's a stunning, I hope it translates over camera because it's so beautiful and so elegant that I just can't imagine somebody not loving having this. So she's got the background frames here, she's got the center dies here. She just did an amazing job. I wish the camera could get it all in one shot, but I can't. She did a tag. And last but not least, she did her canvas snowman. And I love Belinda. I saved this one for last because it's my favorite. I love him. I love him. I love his body being made out of my dies. I love him. It made me so happy when I saw that. So we have got so much. We have all the sets of Simply, I can't even find my sets of dies anymore. They're so underneath. Oh, wait, here. Okay, we've got the 4 sets of dies that are being released right now. You can order them right now. They all come with the stamps. They're $19.99 if you buy 1 or 2 or 3, but if you buy all 4, they come down to $15 each for a total of $60. Oh, I made it! On my 4th try, I made it, and I didn't well up too bad, and I made it all the way through. But always in the back of my mind is my mom. So so hopefully next week, because I have another release of Simply Defined, and it's Christmas, and it's all about my mom there too. So I'm gonna tell you where to get all of this at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. It will be under the Simply Defined and Simply Refined categories, as well as the YouTube Yummies. You're going to go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and remember, it's limited, it's mine, you can't get it anywhere else. I hope you feel the love that I have for these. Never realized how emotional it would be to, because it's not just sitting there and drawing pictures. That's not what it's about. I have to feel it. It has to be a feeling. And when that feeling comes through, there's just no denying it. So I hope you love it, and I'll see you later. It's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple. Bye.